Afternoon. Here we have a 8 horsepower Suzuki. I think it's an 81 or 80 model. It's an old girl. She's got good compression. She runs good. I first had a look at it. It wasn't pumping water. I put an impeller on it. The impeller was totally shredded. I've done some gearbox work on it. She's selected there in neutral, in the reverse detent there. You can see the actual detent there. That's the reverse detent. She's in the reverse detent, and I'll just show here on the prop. She's locked in gear. Now we'll come back to neutral on the motor, and neutral detent, and we'll come down to the prop, and the prop can spin. Now we'll come back up here to the selector forward. She's selected forward, and she's on the forward detent. She's on the forward detent there. You can see that there, and she's locked in gear. Oh, she's just popped into gear. So we've got all the gears. That's great. This gearbox, it was leaking oil. I had to drain the oil. It was very milky. I drained it, and I took this bearing housing off here. I did heat it. I took the bolts out, and it did pry out okay, and replace the seal here before the bearing. So I had to take the bearing out first and replace the seal in the end here. So you've got to pull the bearing first inside here to access the seal. The seal was very, very hard. I doubt if that could seal anything. Some of these gearbox problems, it's usually in this prop end, if you're fortunate. So I've replaced all that there. When I was putting this all back together, the selector shaft here, this is the selector shaft here, that does go in and out and locks the outboard for reverse, because the reverse is right up. So what happened is that selector shaft came out, and I lost all the gears. So after much sorting out and wondering why, not much information on these motors because they're so old. Did a lot of looking, a lot of searching on my smartphone, and a company in Japan, because Suzuki is a Japanese company, a company called Impex or something like that. Impex, I think. They're sort of agents. But a lot of all these parts now for these are all out of production, so I have to be careful with the parts and everything like that. But I found what happened was right down in the gearbox here, because the selector shaft came out. There's two rollers down in the bottom here. They were caught where the selector shaft comes down here, so I had to fetch them out. With a magnet. Only a very short roller, a finer roller, and a longer one. The longer one is about about 19 millimeters, and the short one was only about 4 to 5 millimeters. So I found out through different illustrations that I found online that the small the small roller goes in first into the end of the prop shaft on the clutch dog end. I found out that goes in first, and then second the longer roller goes in. Then it's all put back together. It all came out with the three gears. So it's all come back together. We have the three gears here, so that's great. The top end of the gearbox, the top end of the gearbox, under the impeller there's a big heavy plate, and I don't know if that plate would come out. It doesn't look like it. You could heat it, force it. I think that stainless or aluminium plate would break. I decided not to try and remove it to access the two top seals back to back in the top on the drive shaft. So I've decided not to do that, but I did manage to put a single O-ring under the impeller, bearing down on that plate and being forced into position by the bottom of the impeller. So I'm just waiting for some heavy gear oil to come, and I'm hoping that the gearbox will not leak anymore. I've gone as far as I think I can with it, but she was leaking oil because the seals were just so hard. This gearbox is actually the clutch dogs in it and everything. They're first class. So the owner of this motor, he hasn't ground it into gear or anything like that. It's really first class. This end bearing here was a little bit rusted because it's running water, but there's absolutely no movement in that bearing at all. So I was going to replace it if I had to, but it's only just slightly rusted, being exposed to the water. But it's not grumbly, it's not rumbly, it's just there's no movement in it, so I just left it. So anyway, we have the three gears, and she's going. I hope it doesn't leak water. I hope it doesn't leak water, but I think I've gone as far as I can. But a lovely old motor. Many features. It's got a shallow water drive. You can lock the motor here. You can lock. It's got a peg here. You can lock the motor when you go to lift the motor right up and you go to launch. She tilts right up and you can lock it there by pushing that right in there and locking it. So she's a good old motor. She starts well. I originally did a Carby Clean on this because it was sat around a long time. But she's a great old motor. Good compression. She's got a stack of power. This old girl, I'll tell you. And a lot of people they really love Suzuki outboards. I had a late friend. He was an ardent fisherman. He used to be a professional fisherman on the south coast. And this particular man, he just swore by Suzuki's. If you'd say another brand, he just no, Suzuki. That's the brand. That was the ultimate brand for him. So yeah, I think the late model Suzukis have come a long way too. But these old girls, how's that? 45 years and still going strong actually. and it just goes to show you, if you look after a motor, you might have it in 50 years time. It'll still be running, well, 40 to 50 years. This one here is still a very viable motor. It's a very practical motor, very viable, and man oh man, she's got some guts, I tell you. So there you are, quite a good result in the end. So this is Kev from Kev's Outboard Repairs, and we're just saying thanks for watching, and we'll catch you later. Thanks for watching. Bye.